welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the Vibetribe family. Welcome to TimeOut Thursday. This is where I take a adult time out and I talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and just the downright awful. And right now we have been chatting about learning self-love, self-acceptance, and in today's chat, I am going to be talking about facing our faults. Those things that we don't like about ourselves and maybe what we can do to work on them. So let's just get on into it. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you join the Vibetribe family by hitting that little red subscribe button. If you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up as it does let me know I'm on the right track for creating content for you. If you don't like it, that's okay. Give me a big old thumbs down. Don't bother me none. Thanks for the watch time. Thanks for helping me too. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know my squirrely videos upload. Let's get to chat.
Hey everyone, how's it going? How's your day so far? Hopefully it's a fantabulous one. Sherry here, aka Diamond Art Addiction. Welcome to TimeOut Thursday. If you are not familiar with this or you are new to the channel, this is a series where I talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, if I want to just bullshit and chat, then so be it. You know, if I've got something that's chapping my ass, so be it. This is the day that I'm gonna chitter chatter about it. You know, and that's why I call it, like, even as adults, we sometimes need a timeout as well. So that's why I came up with this. I think I've been doing this, you know, I've been doing it kind of on and off for, oh geez, a while now. I think I started doing whipping chats on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh geez, I'd say probably beginning of summer last year. It was shortly after I started my channel. And I wanted to go Tuesdays and Thursdays because I noticed a lot of people were going on Wednesdays, and me being me, I like to be different. So I'm picking hair off my canvas right now. My hair, I have learned I need to keep my hair up when I am diamond painting. Nothing more will fire my OCD off if I see hair, and my hair is quite long, so it can be a real, you know what, to try and get off. Okay, squirrel, come on, come on. Okay, I think I got that cleared up. So we do have some announcements about some channel changes, which is actually going to go hand in hand with today's topic. Now, I do apologize. This video is going up late. I know that. I've had a lot of stuff going on. You know, there's a family matter that we've been dealing with, and you know, a lot has happened over the past couple days. Some bad, some good, but a whole shit ton of good. And I'm really excited. This actually is all gonna tie in together, and you will understand why as we go. So we're gonna do the channel announcements first because maybe some people don't want to, you know, partake in the rest of the video, and that's fine. I absolutely understand. You know, not every one of my videos is going to be everybody's thing. So like I said, this is actually all going to tie in, and you'll understand why as I go. Because if you guys remember, we started 2 TimeOut Thursdays ago. I will link up in the cards episode 1 where we started at, you know, I started talking about self-love and self-acceptance. If you see me writing down, I'm just writing down the times that I got to insert cards because it just makes it a whole lot easier for me. Again, this ties in tonight. Yay me. I'm actually very, very proud of myself for lots and lots of things. I have a plan. So channel announcements. I actually have notes, you guys. I wrote my channel announcement notes on my iPad. so I don't forget anything. And then the last TimeOut Thursday I did 2 weeks ago. Like we did episode 1, installment 1, 2 weeks ago. Installment 1 was 3 weeks ago. Installment 2 was 2 weeks ago. So I put 1 up in the cards. I will also now put installment 2, use the right pen, Sherry, squirrel, for putting installment 2 up in the cards. Yes, I got my laptop going. We'll chitter chatter about that a little bit down the road. So, channel announcements. One of the things that I have decided is, if you guys have noticed, 9 out of 10 times my videos are being I'm uploading in the evening. And I know a lot of people like consistency, they like to know. So what I have decided is my uploading time, again, because I want to be different and I want to be unique, my videos are going to be uploaded Saturday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and so I'll be uploading 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern. So I notice like a lot of people upload their videos in the morning, and we all have our thing. I want to be different. I'm going to upload in the evening, and that will give maybe people something to watch in the evening. Now, I know if you are, one of my really good friends in Scotland is 7 hours ahead of me. We've got Australia at 18 hours. So you guys will be getting TimeOut Thursday on Fridays, and, so on and so forth. But I have decided that way I have consistency. You guys know when my videos are going to upload, minus on Wednesdays, because I go live at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that is going to be my schedule. And you did hear right, Saturday through Thursday, which means I am no longer going, like Fridays, I'm taking like off per se. It is going to be the one day I don't have to upload, I don't have to film, I don't have to go on social media. It's basically going to be me day. And this will tie into talking about self-love, self-acceptance, because when we talked about it 2 weeks ago, I had said to you guys, take some time, get a piece of paper and write down, things about yourself that you don't necessarily like, or things that you try to hide from other people. We all have them. And then after you write down what you don't like, what you can do to work on it. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, which ties in with the channel announcements. So we talked about my timing. So videos will be uploaded at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Saturday through Thursday. So that will kind of give people a schedule of when my videos will upload. I was speaking with Patsy today and on a video chat, and she said that, it doesn't bother her. Like, if she gets a Thursday on a Friday, and, it's not a big deal, and I do understand people look forward to videos, and then all of a sudden when they're not there, or you're sitting there like, what is going on? So definitely need to get some consistency, and that is one of the things I'm going to be working on. So you guys will see that on a go forward. That also allows me, I'm not getting up in the morning, panicking, oh my God, I got to get a video filmed, and man, I'm running around. And then that's where my squirreliness begins, right? Because, and I know if I had 2 brain cells to rub together and I wasn't so squirrely, yeah, maybe I'd just sit there and just pre-film a whole shit ton of videos. Well, maybe with doing what I'm going to be doing on a go forward, I will actually have that opportunity. So with uploading my videos in the evening, this kind of allows me the day, if I still need to edit or if I still need to film, I have time. I am a night owl. I've been awake since 9:30 yesterday morning, minus a brief little cat nap today, which actually made me feel worse than better. Let me tell you that. Like, that cat nap was probably And if you're wondering what cute little pen this is that I'm working with, this is my dragon pen that I unboxed in yesterday's Get Your Biggin' On event announcement and unboxing from Handmade Mom. Because I am working on a fantasy fairy painting, I figured I would, bring out the dragon pen. I also have the dragon holder. If you missed that announcement video, again, I will link it up in the cards so you guys can check out the unboxing. I got quite a few cute little pens. So again, thank you, Tina. Okay, squirrel, totally squirrel in here. I'm just all excited, you guys, because I got my laptop going. Another positive came out today, a really exciting one, which is one that I will share down the road with you guys. It kind of has to do with the road to recovery. So we talked about uploading time. We talked about Fridays. I won't be uploading videos. That gives me a day off to do banking. I chose a weekday. So if I have, shopping or, I got to go to do stuff that you can only do on weekdays. So we discussed that. I'm really proud of myself. Since we did our last TimeOut Thursday and talked about, self-love, self-acceptance, working on things that we want to change, I have been keeping up pretty well with messages. People aren't waiting weeks, days. If you sent me a message and I haven't responded to you, I'm not going to think you're stalking me. I'm not going to think you're creepy if you send me another message. I do get quite a few messages, so sometimes messages can get lost down in the feed, or sometimes what I'll do is I'll read or listen to a message, and next thing I know, I've got to go do this. I'll message them back, and then I forget. Same thing goes for emails. Don't hesitate on sending me another one. I can be notorious for not checking my junk mail in my email as well. Okay, so messages, what I'm going to be doing is, like I said, I'm a night owl. So when I get up and I usually wake up anywhere between 9:30 and 11. Sometimes I haven't been known to sleep past noon. Just depends on what me body wants. So when I get up, that's going to be the time when I'm going to jump online. I'll do a morning post. Hey, how's everyone doing? And that is when I'm going to take the time to respond to messages. As I've made it very clear, and I know you guys, a lot of you know, I do not like being on my phone all the time. I'm squirrely enough as it is. I am so disappointed in myself considering I've been up since yesterday morning, and I am just finishing this here and maybe starting In Her Wings tonight. I wanted to start those yesterday. So this is a whole part of changes that I'm making, working on my squirreliness. I need a cheesecake M&M. Yes, you heard that right. I've been working on a friend mail video, and I'm just waiting for a couple more packages to get here, and you guys will get to see it. But in one of those packages, I was sent some cheesecake M&Ms. I'm not going to say who yet, but you know who you are. Thank you so much. They are like the best thing, and I haven't had them for 2 years. So thank you. Okay, work through that. So in the mornings, that is when I will be returning messages, responding, chatting, and After that, it'll be sporadic throughout the day, unless we're in the middle of a conversation. I even went on a group call the other night, you guys. I'm a part of a chat group on Facebook Messenger, and I've been a part of it for quite some time. And I'll always see them going on group chats, and I'll be like, do I want to join in? Don't I want to? And that's a whole part of the social anxiety, right? People seeing you. It's live, if I say something stupid. You guys know what I mean? I need a sippy. Ooh, jeez. All right, no more M&Ms while filming. Bad mistake. Okay. So I want to start really working on paintings and getting paintings completed. Because as we all know, I have all these paintings kitted up. So I've got to try and balance things out. So I am able to, I'm just looking to see if I have any more. I'll just leave this bag. We're going to move on to the next one. I got myself ready. So yeah, I'll be chatting in the mornings like that. Usually when I'm having coffee and getting myself functionable for the day, that's usually a couple hours, right? So let's say I get up at 10. So from 10 to 12, that's when I'm down in the garage with Mr. Addiction, getting my coffee on and, waking up, getting ready for the day. So that's a perfect time to be sitting there answering messages from the previous day or whatnot. And I'm not saying like those are the only times I'm going to be on my phone. After that, it's SOL. You guys ain't going to hear shit from me. No, it will be at sporadic times throughout the day when I go down to the garage, to vape. But like I said, I really have set some goals for myself. And one of them is completing paintings. I've really sucked at that. I really have. And I know it because I squirrel, I get all excited for painting, and then it's, I work on it and then I get all excited for another one. Yeah, I think some of you, understand that. I was actually talking with Brother Jeremy. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday, Tuesday, and he's like saying the same thing, like he just can't do this no more. No more working on multiple paintings, like, because he had stated that he's not going to be participating in the community event that me and Melissa are hosting, because that means, starting another painting. And, he's like kicking ass on the bodyscapes from Treasure Studios Art. So brother, that is looking amazing. If you guys aren't sure who I'm talking about, well, you must be living under a rock. But Jeremy's been a part of this community for a long time. He's one of the first people that, really welcomed me into the community and made me feel comfortable, kind of adopted him as a big brother, since I lost my adopted big brother back in 2000. So he's kind of stuck with me now. Yeah, I will link his channel down below so that way, you guys can go and check him out and see the bodyscapes he's working on. Oh, you guys, it is gorgeous. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to go over and check out his channel or be following him on. He posted in the Vibetribe family Facebook group. Okay, we covered that part. Jeez. Like I said, you guys, I'm sure this is going to be a very squirrely video. So we have 2 more announcements or, changes to the channel, and then we are going to get into TimeOut Thursday. So the next one I want to talk about, now that I was able, now that I was able to get my laptop up and going, I went in and I seen so many comments that were held for review or were likely spam. And I'm like, how is that happening? They've commented on my channel all the time. So I went down and I looked and I'm like, oh, I have to click this little box that says allow all comments. Imagine that. So I am so sorry if you commented and you didn't see your comment or you thought I was ignoring you. That was not the case. That has been adjusted. It's amazing what you can do on YouTube Studio on your computer. Wowza. Which means I will be having my very first premiere at the end of the month. And we're doing that for a reason. That's going to take us into this announcement and then one more. So I know so many of you are excited for my Patreon because I am going to be having mailouts for the second and third tier. I did make some changes to that, which I will discuss in that video down the road. So there are going to be mailouts, and I've been kind of I've been dropping some sneak peeks and, kind of showing you guys some of the stuff. And unfortunately, I know you guys I can just hear you guys going, oh no. Unfortunately, due to the craziness that is going on planet Earth, affecting every single country, so on and so forth, a lot of my stuff that I ordered back at the end of January, February, still isn't here. We're now on April 9th. So I'm not going to risk having stuff not here in time and then I'm scrambling to try and put these together. No, I don't want that. That's how mistakes can happen and things can get screwed up. Like I've said before to you guys that, I've been working on this for a long time. I've had some business friends who have helped me with it. And it's something that I'm taking very seriously. It's not, because I want to give back. You guys have been supportive. I've gotten friend mail, etc. I've said this 100 times on my channel. So I am pushing back the launch of my Patreon to first mail out will now be June 1st. I'm sorry to those who are going to be disappointed by this, but again, I want to make sure that no mistakes are made or someone gets left out or because I'm not ready or I don't have enough items. I do have Mr. Addiction is helping me when it comes to the diamond painting pens. Getting those little ends in there. Yeah, he's helping me with that. We've been making some magnets, but I am still waiting for a crap ton. And in one of my orders that had some of the most cutest little things I was going to make into minders never came. They said it was completed. I had to put a dispute in, got my money back, but I didn't want the money. I wanted the darn items. So I had to go find another store on AliExpress and, reorder some stuff. I've ordered some more pens, stuff to make pens out of. Like I had said in previous videos, if you guys have any clear pens, pink pens, blue pens, I would absolutely appreciate if you could fire some my way. I will have my mailing address down in the description box that you can send to. I basically want the tips. And then what I'm going to do for the blue and the pink pens is I am going to send them to my friend Ashley over at Crafts with Crashly, as she does the polymer clay pens. Like, I got to actually talk to her about that because I haven't even mentioned it to her, but I'm sure she can still use them. I just need the tips. I don't know where else to buy just the tips. I do have a bunch of pens I ordered on AliExpress for like dirt cheap. So be prepared, Ashley. You are going to have a shit ton of pink pens coming your way. So when it comes to the diamond painting pens and the cover minders that I'm making, I can't stress this enough. I am not going to be opening an Etsy store. I guess some people are worried, and they have nothing to be worried about. I am not opening an Etsy store. I am not going to be selling on Facebook. You know, that is not what I want to do. I know that people doing pens and minders is a part of their livelihood. So I don't want to take away from that. So this is strictly for my Patreons. So yes, you did hear me state that I do need clear pens. We all know Rachel Ray has the floppy pens, okay? I will not do floppy pens like Rachel's, but I have found some that are not like Rachel's that I am making. I know I'm giving away here, but that's only because I do need the clear pens. If you send me pens, please make sure there is a return address label, or you put your mailing address inside the box, because in return, I will send you a diamond painting pen for sending me the pens and, you know, having to pay the postage. In return, you are going to get a pen for doing it. Oh, that's a completely different symbol. Huh. Well, you know. Okay, I got that one right. Like, no, if I screwed up, no, I don't think I did. That's the first time I've seen that one. I do try to pay. Sorry, squirrel. Oh man, we are like 25 minutes into the video and we haven't even touched on TimeOut Thursday, but it is a whip and chat and they usually do go a bit longer. So yeah, Patreon, June 1st, I will put an announcement video up in May when, you know, I'm ready to go. You will see the announcement video go up. I'm sure a lot of you will appreciate why I am pushing this back a month. So that finishes that announcement. So the very last announcement I'm going to make is when I was in YouTube Creator Studio, whatever it is, I went over, like I changed so all comments will come in. I approved all comments that were there. I also cleaned up my moderator list. Now, I cannot hesitate enough. I do not have a problem or a beef with anyone. The people that I, you know, cleaned up the list were people that I haven't really seen in live. You know, I haven't seen them in the community that much, so on and so forth. Or maybe, you know, like, it's, yeah, so we all do it. We'll all clean up our lists here and there. I just don't want somebody to suddenly walk into my live and be like, well, wow, what, I'm not a moderator? What, I wish you got beef with me, blah, blah, blah. You know how people roll with that, right? So there are enough of you that I know are going to watch this. If somebody thinks that I've got a problem with them because they're no longer a moderator, please just tell them to come talk to me. I ain't got a problem with nobody. Absolutely nobody. People got problem with me. Well, whatevs. That's you, right? Again, that's something we're going to talk about when I move over to TimeOut Thursday, which we are going to do in a couple seconds. So those were the announcements. I know it took me half an hour, but you know me, I got to make sure I go into detail. Something I have learned over the past year of being on YouTube is you really have to make yourself clear, because sometimes people can perceive things or misinterpret things for something that they're not, right? Just because you're no longer a moderator doesn't mean I have an issue with you, right? It's just I haven't seen you in chat for a while. And I know it's happened with me, right? Where I've been moderators for people and I'm no longer in their lives, and I'm sure I've been demoted because you're not there, right? So why would you be a moderator if you're not there moderating? Makes sense, right? Right. Okay, good. Glad we worked that out. So that is it for the announcements, you guys. If you have any questions about any of those 5 announcements that I made, please feel free to reach out to me. I have everything down below. My email, I'm going to be adding my new email because my other email is being a real jerk butt right now. So that will be, I'll have both my emails down there. I mean, even like I have a order coming from my BFF diamond painting pens for something coming up. And you know, she's trying to send me the invoice. Like, I don't know how many times to my first email, gave her my second email, and oh man, like, yeah. So I do have 2 emails now, which I will have down below. You can also reach out to me on Facebook, or you can DM me on Instagram. Instagram is just diamond_art_addiction. You can find me through the Vibetribe Facebook group, which I do keep linked down below. Okay, you guys, I am going to take a break, put my iPad away. It looks like I have to go feed our bearded dragon, and then I will be back and we will get into TimeOut Thursday finally. See you in a few. And I'm back, and I mean, it is like later. It is 8:51 at night. This is exactly what I'll be talking about, you know, when it comes to the whole, okay, pen down, we're gonna focus. Talking about TimeOut Thursday now that we've gotten through the announcements. So 2 weeks ago, I did put it up in the cards earlier. If you didn't watch the other 2 installments of the self-love that we're doing right now, you might be a little bit confused. So I kind of gave something for everybody to do in the first, which was write down, you know, what they like, what they don't. This one, now for the last time, I had mentioned to you guys, you know, take the things that you don't like about yourself, and beside it, or however, you know, write down what you are going to do to try to fix that. We all have what I call a shadow self. And shadow self is that side of ourselves, the flaws that we have that we do not want anyone else to see, right? A lot of people, it's really hard to sit there and, you know, take what you don't like about yourself and bring it forth. The first thing is admitting it to yourself, right? Like, these are the flaws that I know I have, you know, and, you know, instead of pretending that you don't have them and putting on a mask and, you know, faking it till you make it, you know, fake it till you make it, the whole thing there. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys get it, you know, and because people don't want to acknowledge that side of themselves, if you guys know what I mean, like where I'm going with that. So when, like that picture in the beginning of the video said, once you admit and own your flaws, nobody can use them against you. You know, you've admitted it. Like, yeah, okay, like, yeah, I am this and that. And I'm going to go over some of the ones that I have written down here. I did write them down. This is the planner. This is a planner book that I have that is now officially sitting beside me at all times. So instead of sitting here rambling on and on, where I learned a lot of this was when I went through, you know, rehab. You know, when I was coming off of drugs, I was, you know, I went through rehab a few times, and I went to 2 different rehabs. Mississippi. And, you know, we some of the stuff that we worked on was trauma, and that's actually something I'm going to cover down as we continue on this little journey that we're on for TimeOut Thursday. And I was actually asked, like, if some of you are wondering, like, well, how come all of a sudden you're doing this? Well, I was asked to. You know, people have come to me saying, like, you've shared everything that you've been through, but can you share how you worked yourself through it? You know, like the loss of my son, you know, domestic violence, There are some other very traumatic things that I have been through that I haven't shared on my channel, and maybe one day, maybe not, you know. Some things I don't need to share everything, you know, and I cannot get this hair off and it's irritating. I need my Ever Moment tweezers. I have 4 different pairs of tweezers here. Squirrel! We're squirreling here. That's something, you guys, that I can't change, but it's not something that I don't like about myself. I know I'm squirrely, and I know that, you know, I can be a bit flighty, as my dad will call it, and that's something that we know we will get to. I'm not going to try and make this to be an hour long, if you guys know what I mean. So I'll work on myself, and then you guys are going to hear me. You do not have to share this with anybody. This is for you. Yes, you, right there. The one who's sitting there listening to this, because you're probably diamond painting or crocheting or whatnot. And, you know, this is for you guys. Like I said, I was asked to start sharing some of my healing journey. I was actually talking when I was on video chat with Patsy today. I completely just lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. Wowza. Holy smokes. Okay, you guys, I gotta pause and find out what I was just talking about. I'll be right back. Wow, squirrel. Okay, you guys, like total like MS fog there. So what I was talking about, me and Patsy were chatting, and we were talking about the beginning of my healing journey. And I know the exact precise moment that I took my life back and I began my healing journey, and it was Mother's Day of 2009. And, you know, that was when I started really working what I learned in rehab. Like, I had gone to rehab, I did what they asked me to do, but me being who I am, I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told when to eat. I don't like being told none of that, right? So, but I did absorb the information they gave me. And that's kind of some of the stuff that, you know, I'm not a trained therapist. I'm not, none of that. This is just me sharing my life experience and what has worked for me. And as I was saying, a few of you have asked me to do this, as, you know, you can relate to some of the stuff that I've been through. And it's actually, this is really good for me to be doing too, considering it's been a while since I've done this. I like myself. I've gone from 11 years ago despising myself, thinking I was a worthless nothing, not knowing where my place was on this planet. You know, I had no self-esteem, no self-worth. I was a doormat, you know, all of that. And in 11 years, I have developed a voice. Like, I will speak, you know, we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go. I have a much, much tougher skin than I used to have. I used to have, like, somebody could just look at me wrong. And that's just my sensitivities with my gifts. But we're not going to talk about that today. So the hardest part is facing your shadow self, facing your flaws, facing those imperfections about, you know, what you don't like about yourself. And I'm not talking the color of your hair or those kind of things, right? Like, if it's like, you know, if you're uncomfortable with your weight, you know, yes, that is something that can be worked on, right? You have to be comfortable in your own skin. It doesn't matter whether you're short, tall, thin, you know, fluffy, as I like to call it. You know, I am a big girl. I know that. I have accepted it. You know, not sitting there saying I'm giving myself a license to become the great one-ton wonder. Like, no, that's not what I'm doing. But I'm comfortable in my own skin after, you know, it's taken me a long time, and Mr. Addiction plays a huge part in that. And this is where I'm going to, on TimeOut Thursdays, I'm going to start sharing my healing journey with you guys. What I've done over the past 10 years. I might share a little bit more of things that I've been through and what has helped me to work through the trauma, what has helped me to learn. I'm learning to love myself. Right now, I like myself. I'm very proud of how much I have accomplished and what I have, made it through. I still have a long ways to go. We are forever learning. That never changes. That will never, we're always learning. And as long as once we see the lesson, learn the lesson, don't repeat the lesson. That kind of thing. So I asked you guys to write down, honestly write down some of what you would consider your flaws, your shadow self, the part of you that you don't want other people to see. And I think sometimes we think if we just ignore it and pretend that it's not there and put on an act like, I'm so wonderful, I have the perfect relationship, the most wonderful kids, who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself? When someone is constantly boasting, it's, you got to ask yourself, why are you saying this? Are you trying to convince me or are you trying to convince yourself? So I struggle with a lot of people who do that, or they just think they're so wonderful and their shit don't stink and they're just great, that. No, I can't handle that either. There is a point, there is confidence and then there's arrogance, right? And I think people who are like that are actually trying to cover up their flaws. They don't want people to see their imperfections. They don't want people to see that side of themselves. So they put on a front, right? And that will hopefully cover up what that side of yourself you don't want other people to see. So once you accept those flaws, you can take your mask off and say, look at world, here I am. This is me. And people will be like, I'm going to start going over my list here and what I'm going to do to work on these things, I will never be perfect. I don't want to be. That's just too much maintenance for me, you guys. I've said it before, I'm lazy. I don't want to be perfect, but there are parts of my flaws that I do want to work on, and that's why I'm doing this. It's going to kind of help to keep me accountable and continuing my journey. I already did 1 decade, 10 years. It's taken me 10 years to go from a quiet, meeky, mousy drug addict who, I was so insecure to now I have the confidence to be doing YouTube and to be sharing my stories, because I've accepted my flaws. I've accepted them. I know they're there. I'm not denying them, but I really need to start working on them. You can accept them, but what are you doing to work on them? So maybe they're not something that you feel you have to hide from the world. So the first one for me that was number 1 on my list is my oversensitivity. Need a sippy. I am very sensitive, and I'm not necessarily sensitive to words. It's tone. How something is said to me, I am very sensitive. I could be watching a movie and Lassie, I cried for days. I am super sensitive. That comes along with being empathic. Somebody could say something to me and oversensitive. And my next one on my list was take things personal. my therapist, when I was in rehab, said the reason why I'm oversensitive and I take things personal stems from the trauma that I have gone through. You know, when you're told for, 14 plus years that you're worthless, everybody, blah, 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 blah. I don't need to go over and over that. You believe it and you start living it. So you become, I was born sensitive, but because of what I've endured, I was bullied through school, blah, blah, blah. My sensitivity went to the extreme. Plus I have borderline personality disorder. And if you have borderline personality disorder, we feel things to the extreme, right? And like when I get angry, it's not just sadness, it's anger. It's like my sensitivity, I'm emotional. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I take things personal. That is something that I've actually been working on for quite a while, and I'm getting a lot better at that. Now what I'll do when someone says something, instead of like thinking to myself, well, what do they mean by that? What did they mean by that? Why would they say that? What's going on? I look at it now, and this was a point that was brought to me from my therapist is, did you do anything wrong? No. Did you do anything to piss them off? Like you're the only one that can answer that question. Well, no. Well, then don't take it personal. Like, does that make sense? Like, unless people will sit there, and I've done it on my channel where I'll say, well, if you think I'm talking about you, what are you guilty of? Like, why are you feeling guilty? So that's where I've actually been able to shift. Like that therapist, when he put it to me that way, it was like the light bulb went on. And that's why I learned that from. So when you guys hear me say that, well, if you think I'm talking about you, why? Why do you think I'm talking about you? Like, what are you feeling guilty of? So I'm still working on it, but I've learned to speak up. Okay, I just got to get another color here, you guys. And I want to make sure I grab the right one so I don't go and screw sheet up. 824, there we go. I need some of my little dryer beads. So for my oversensitivity, my hyper emotions, and taking things personal, what I'm working on is when I'm feeling an emotion, I'm going to talk. Like I'm going to speak about it like I do in my videos, like I talk about taboo topics. So if I'm having an emotional day, like if I'm feeling angry and I don't know why, if I'm feeling sad, I'm going to speak, whether it's pick up a phone and call a friend or video chat somebody, speak with my mom, Mr. Addiction. I need to start speaking instead of analyzing in my head. I found the cutest journal for it was a steal of a deal, you guys. It was a steal of a deal. It was one of those late night ads that just popped up and I looked and they were cute. So I can't wait. And I'm going to start writing again. I used to love writing poetry. Okay, I am on the right symbol. Okay, we're good. We're golden. Okay. I used to write a lot of poetry. I wrote a poem once, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law asked me if it would be okay if my father-in-law read it at his niece's wedding. I used to write all the time. I've always said, I'm going to write a book one day. I'm going to write a book. Well, I think I've said it in a past video that, this is my book. Me doing YouTube is me doing basically my biography, but it's this form but I am going to go back to writing. I don't write dark. I'm not I don't do the dark, but it's just, I'm going to start writing when something is bothering me. Instead of keeping it in my brain or within me, I will speak it. You know, like if, you know, let's say Jane says something to me and it comes across a little sharp. Instead of not saying something and, well, why did she say it like that? Like, what does she mean by that? Like, and then you build a mountain out of a molehill. All I'm going to do is just say, well, what did you mean by that? You know, and it's because I've recognized that it's not just necessarily words, it's tone and how things are said. You know, if something gets said to me in an aggressive manner, instantly I'm going to go on the defense. And I mean, things can just get morphed. So to work on my sensitivity, I'm just going to start speaking, you know, like as you guys have seen, if you've been following me long enough, like, you know, we've got Robin's been with, she's OG, she's been with me from the beginning, you know, I've got Ash Inc. Like, I don't want to start naming people because I'm going to miss someone. And then, yeah, you know, I cannot, you guys have been with me from the beginning. I cannot come on camera and pretend that everything's okay when it's not. I am a person who wears my emotions on my sleeve, so that goes in with oversensitive, emotional. I'm not going to try and pretend that everything's okay. I'm just going to say, you know what, you guys, this is what's going on. Like I've always been, you know. I'm not going to worry about whether people think I'm sitting on a pity train. If that's what they want to think, that's on them. That's not on me. That whatever. You know, yeah, I did get really down in the dumps. And I think trying to pretend that I was okay when I wasn't made it worse. You know, my mother-in-law looks at me and says, you have liquid eyes. Like, just hearing my voice, you guys can tell when something's not right or something's off. So I'm not going to try and hide that part of myself anymore. I'm just going to accept it, you know, and I'll sit there and I'll even poke fun at myself, right? And that's where you're just having fun, because when you do that, people are like, okay, like she recognizes this about herself, but she owns it. She owns it. She's rolling with it. So I'm going to roll with her, right? Instead of looking like a basket case. So those are, I think, are my biggest ones that I really need to focus on, is the sensitivity, the emotional. And like I said, what I'm doing is I'm going to start writing, I'm going to start speaking and just sharing, picking up a phone. Don't hold it in. Don't, and I learned that when I was in rehab, don't allow things to fester. Because when it festers, no different than when you get a cut. If you let it fester, what happens? It spreads and it becomes an infection. It's just like negativity. If somebody is constantly negative all the time, it festers and it will spread like a virus. It'll bleed into other people. And then what will happen is, because people are negative, no one's going to want to be around them. Like I've always said, it's okay to not be okay, but you can't be not okay forever. You can't put a timeline on when you will be okay, but make progress. Try not using negative words. Won't, can't, don't. Try not using, those are a negative thing. And I thoroughly believe in the universal law of attraction. What we put out, we are going to get back. So whatever vibration we're putting out, we're going to get back. And I know all that, blah, blah, blah. But yet I'll still get where I was a few months ago. But I was going through, and I'm not sitting here trying to make excuses for myself. I was going through a lot. Some of it I've shared on camera and some of it I haven't. Like I said, sometimes there is such a thing called overshare. Not every little ink of my life needs to be here. You can't if you're always talking negative, saying won't, don't, can't, wouldn't, the universe doesn't recognize those words. The universe is of light, I'm not going to get into the spiritual talk. So it doesn't recognize the negativity. So if you say, I don't want to be late for work, the universe, universal law of attraction is going to take out the don't. What is the universe here? I want to be late for work. Do you see where I'm rolling with that? So if you're speaking negative, if you're thinking negative, you're going to receive negative. And then what's going to happen after so long, people are, I've been there. I've been that person where, and this was a long time ago, and it was when I was still with my ex, and I was on the pity train, and my mom basically looked at me and she said, are you unhappy? I said, yeah. She goes, is this where you want to be? I said, nope. She's like, well, then fucking do something about it. You've been sitting here for a while now, and my mom could see how miserable I was with my ex. Like, we are such polar, like, I know opposites attract, but not that opposite. It's, yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that either, but, and she's right. My mom was right. And that really resonated with me when my mom's like, it's true. And it's stuck with me for almost 13 years, 14 years, just about the same age as Carson, because it was just after Carson was born. And it took me nearly 3 years to finally do something about it. And it's true. If you are unhappy, sitting there and complaining over and over and over isn't going to fix it. It's not going to change it. And that's where I'm hoping by doing this with you guys that maybe I can help give you guys some tools to work through those things. So that is, I'm just sitting here. I'm just rambling away. Okay, Sherry, back to your list. Another one of my flaws is I'm a procrastinator. I am me, and this is where Richard's strengths is my weakness, and my strengths are Richard's weakness. So we really balance each other out. And I am a procrastinator. I have that attitude. I can do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. If it doesn't need to be done, do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes and it's like, yeah, do it tomorrow. I am a procrastinator, you guys. I am a huge procrastinator. And it's gotten me into trouble sometimes, right? And then what happens is I get behind on things and then I start getting squirrely. So one flaw can actually sometimes bleed into the next flaw and the other flaws, and then you just got one great big basket of mess. You know what I mean? So I need to not keep putting things off, right? Like, I know I can, when I'm determined to do something, I'll do it. I will absolutely do it. And I am determined to work through all this stuff. I have it written down in my notes, in the notes section of my planner. And the procrastination kind of goes in with the next three. Like, sometimes my flaws just kind of just rolling, get the rolling. Okay, Sherry, now you're just getting really squirrely. So procrastination, follow through, squirreliness. Now, I like that, I'm squirrely and, I don't want to change that part of myself. Like, I distract easily, but what I need to do is, and when I say follow through, I don't like disappointing people. I don't like letting people down. So when people will ask me to do something, fully knowing I don't know what kind of day I'm going to have that day, because for me, you know, if you have a chronic illness or condition, you know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't, you may know what I'm talking about. You know, I'll make plans or I'll commit myself to something, and then I wake up that day and I'm not feeling well. My back is hurting, and next thing you know, I'm breaking plans. And that's happened on numerous occasions. I don't do it intentionally. I don't think anybody would. You know, and it actually, you know, I've had people get upset, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. You know, so the procrastination, the follow through, I have to learn how to say no. I'm sorry, I cannot commit to that. Or how about let's see how I'm feeling that day. Now, if it's something like they need a confirmation, like, are you going to be able to do this? That is where I have learned to say, look, you know what? Maybe I better just step back. So I have worked on that, but I know I could do better. I really could, you guys. And I know that. I've read, and that's the whole part of doing this exercise is recognition, work on it. And this is not stuff that is gonna happen overnight. Like I said, I'm on my 11th year of my healing journey. You know, it's time. It's having patience with yourself. You're gonna have setbacks. You know, there's no such thing as perfection. Like, that is the number one thing when I went to rehab that they said. Perfection doesn't exist. And in today's society, it almost feels like the keeping up with the Joneses all the time. You know, like, you read magazines, you see TV shows, especially now with social media, and, you know, it's keeping up with the Joneses and who has the best this, and, you know, I have the most perfect life and the most perfect relationship. And again, who are you trying to convince? Us or yourself, you know? So where I'm rambling on with this, for the procrastination, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start writing what I would like each night before I go to bed. I am going to write down things I want to do the next day, and it's going to be within reason, whether it's from filming a video, whether it's to making some cover minders, whether it's to making some diamond painting pens, you know, some housework. I'm just going to kind of make a to-do list, and it's going to be, I'm going to call it the possible to-do list, because you never know what kind of day you're going to have. And when you write a list, this was something I learned as well. You know, when you write a list, and then it is so satisfying when you cross it off. Done. Done. So, oh, we got some sneezes happening there. Bless you, honey. Most people say thank you, but hey, whatever. Squirrel. So, to work through the procrastination, I am going to be writing a list each night of I'm going to start out small. You don't want to set yourself up to fail. You know, you don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set your goals or what you want to do to work on your flaws, you know, right up here. So tonight, before I go to bed, I'll write down 2 things that I want to get done tomorrow. Right? And then at the end of each, you know, as I get these things done, I'll cross them off, you know, and if there's some other things that I see need to be done, or, you know, I'm still kind of in the mood, then, like, if it's cleaning, I love cleaning. I love cleaning and I love organizing. It just makes me happy. You know, that is something that I can't control, you know, and when I feel like my life is spiraling, I will start cleaning and I will start organizing things, you know, and that is something that I can control. That's actually something my mom taught me, you know. If life is spinning out of control, quit trying to control what you can't control and do something that you can. if that makes sense, right? Like, I know I'm super tired right now. Like, I am on 36 hours with no sleep, minus like a little cat nap made me feel worse. So procrastination, I am no longer going to procrastinate. If I say I'm going to do something the next day, I'm going to do it. It's not going to get up and say, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. Nah, I'll do it next week. No, I'm definitely going to be stopping that. And I think when I work on the procrastination, that's going to help with the follow through, and consistency. That's why in the beginning, when I was talking about, oh, here we go again. I'm brain fogging. When I was talking about how everything kind of like making the channel changes. Ooh, that one came back quick. Sweet. Progress. We have progress. Cha-ching. No, and see, now I've just gone channel. So by me saying I am going to upload videos Saturday through Thursday, my videos will be up I'll upload at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. People will know that now this is where I will be held accountable for follow through, right? And you guys will see, well, is she following through? Is she doing what she said? So you guys will actually get to watch me as I do this. Along, let me look at my channel changes list, because of course I can't remember everything I put down. It's not like it was a monster list. Come on. Password here. Let's go. Yeah, like taking Fridays off and meaning it, and if when me and Danielle go to do Friendship Friday, what I'll probably do is take out Let's Talk Tuesday. Right? And then Tuesday will become my day off. I am taking one day a week where I'm not, going to be uploading. If I want to film videos, great. Give myself a head start. I could use it. For some time, like right now, I'm so far behind. I actually think I'm winning the race. It's now 9:30 at night, but this will be uploaded on a Thursday. But this isn't going to happen no more. This is where I start feeling out of control, and I feel like I'm spiraling because I'm scrambling to try and get it together. I've been learning some new tricks when it comes to videos, and you guys will get to see that come in the friend mail video. Just kind of having fun, learning how it all works, because that's a goal that I've set for myself, which you guys will see in time. Obviously, it's editing my videos and just adding a little bit more fun, a little bit more pizzazz to the videos. So I'll be working on that. You guys will get to see that soon. And this is going to be like with the follow through, right? Like I have committed myself, and this is where I failed. And I really, really screwed up at Christmas time. Well, it kind of started with the Holomus collab, but that was not something I did purposely. I destroyed my canvas, and it just kind of set the wheels in motion. I cannot wait to do the Holomus collab part 2 this year. I will be filming that throughout the summer, through July and August. So I will be all ready for October. I've already got that in my agenda. I got this agenda for 2020 because I need to start writing things down. Like, lists in my head don't work no more. Just by me doing this here, and then even just making notes for what I wanted to talk about in the announcements tonight, right? So that way I don't forget anything, and it helps to kind of keep me on track. I'm still gonna squirrel. That ain't never gonna change. I think everybody's just kind of accepted that side of me now. Like when I say I want to, like when I wrote down squirrely, but that's not something I don't dislike about myself. It's just maybe by not procrastinating no more, making lists, I'm going to do my writing. I'm going to be more expressive when things are bothering me, or if someone says something, I think everything is, sorry, I got a message on my iPad. Squirrel. See, those kind of squirrel moments, that's just squirrel, right? But the squirrely moments that, like today, I'm still filming at 9:30 at night. Like, this is what I need to get under control, right? I need to get a schedule. I need to stick to it. And when you have that, everything else just kind of falls into place. And every once in a while, our flaws will come back out. You know, like I'm emotional. I have a wicked temper. Sometimes I will fly off the handle. I will speak before I think. And shit be coming out my mouth. It's like verbal diarrhea. Just blah, 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 blah. Ask Mr. Addiction. I'm sure he would confirm that for you. You know, we're gonna have slips, you know, we're gonna have an outburst, it's gonna happen. But when you recognize it, like I can recognize the signs of addiction within myself. You know, I can tell when it's time for me to take a step back and have to, whoa, think about this, right? Like when you can recognize those character flaws that you see within yourself, you can then take a step back and go, okay, even if it's just having an elastic band on your wrist and just snap it. Do you know what I mean? Like snap it. Have a squishy ball, like something that when you can feel, for me, I can only speak for myself. When I feel an overabundance of emotion, when I feel like I'm ready to burst, whether it's anger, whether it's tears. I hate crying in front of other people, you guys. And I cried in front of Patsy today and I was just like, I feel like a fool. I don't mind crying. Crying doesn't bother me. It cleanses the soul. I don't like crying in front of other people. I like to do it behind closed doors. I've kind of always been that way, you know, and I was always told, toughen up, toughen up. But I've retaught my brain that it's okay to cry, cleanse your soul, get it out, and that's when I will write. If it's anger, I'm gonna go for a small walk for that, what my body will allow me to do. So a couple other things about myself, you know, I'm overcritical of myself. Like I will sit there and I will pick myself apart, and that's something that I need to stop doing. You know, like I will, and I'm not going to go into too much detail or else we're going to have a 5-hour long video here. I can be overcritical of myself, and, you know, people even say like, stop it. It's fine. You're fine. You know, and maybe it's looking for that validation. Everybody needs validation, whether it's validation that people like your videos, whether it's, you know, knowing that your spouse is happy. You know, everybody needs to hear the words, or, you know, just by, here's an example. Yesterday, my brain, you know, when it comes to the community event that we're doing, the Get the Bigger On, get your biggin on. Say that 5 times fast. You know, when it comes to the event, I was sitting there, you know, well, this is going to go wrong and nobody's going to like it. No one's going to want to partake, you know, and then I caught myself right there in that moment. No, this is going to be fun. And it's going to be a positive distraction. And these were things I was telling myself to talk myself down, you know, from doing the, well, no one's going to want to, and no one's going to like it. And, you know, that's where I have learned over the past 10 years to not do that. And that's when I talked myself down. And when I get like that, I'll say 5 positive things. Say 5 positive things. When you hear, like when I hear myself getting overcritical or bashing, no, I stop myself and I say 5 positive things about myself. Or, you know, for me, it was the event. And then me and Melissa, we did our announcements. And then, you know, I did the live last night, and you guys are receiving this like crazy, crazy beans. Now I know I haven't commented back yet. That's something I'll do tomorrow morning on yesterday's Get Your Biggin announcement on and the unboxing, plus, you know, tonight's video. I'll sit there and I will comment back, and that's what I'll do tomorrow morning while I have coffee. That is going to become my new norm. And that was the event. And I had seen, like, you know, I can't remember. It wasn't a rude comment. Let me, actually, you know what? I'll just pull it up. And I can definitely see the point. And this is like a prime example where my oversensitivity or take it personal. I just got to find it so I can find the comment. Nope, not that one. It must have been on me live. Oh dear, where did I see it? Well, oh dear, oh dear. And it was basically, it was something like along the lines of, you know, like, it's got to be in here. I know I'm going to find it eventually. I know I am. Okay, now I'm on the right spot. See, squirrel. That's where I got to slow down. I got to tell myself to slow down and think. Okay, so the comment from Melissa, and I mean, the comment came in a public forum. Anybody can see it. Not Melissa, the one I'm doing this with. I love the idea of this, but I don't think you should leave out the people that can't afford to buy the big paintings. I have quite a few big paintings, but some people either can't afford them or don't like to work on big paintings. Just an FYI. You know, and I absolutely, Melissa, I absolutely agree with you, you know, and we're not trying to leave anybody out. What it was is this was originally just going to be a collaboration between myself and Melissa, you know, because I got challenged to do the Enchanted Forest, so on and so forth, da-da-da-da-da. This is gold, man. I'm sorry, you guys. This is definitely going to be a little bit of a longer video. Normally, I don't do such long whipping chats, but hey, what else? Here we go. So I do agree. It's not that we're trying to leave people out. We're not trying to force people, you know. If people want to work on a 60 by 80, that's fine. They are more than welcome to. It's just because this is a get your bigging event. I don't know how to say this without sounding rude. I don't want to come across rude. I don't want anybody left out. That's where, you know, sometimes I have a bleeding heart, you know. I don't want anyone left out, but the point of this event is to work on a massive painting, you know, and there's been other community events that, you know, that have gone on and people haven't participated. You know, I didn't participate in the Chuck Along. I didn't participate in the Sassy Craft Along, and that was just because I was at a really bad spot in my life at that point. I didn't join in, but I still followed along. You know, and, you know, I don't know how to, you know, like we were saying that it was going to, like, in order to be entered in for the giveaways, it had to be 100 centimeters on one side of the canvas. And, you know, during the event, or during my live last night, you know, quite a few people came up saying, well, they have canvases that are 90 centimeters. I'm like, you know what? We're not going to leave people out over 10 centimeters like that, you know. So really anybody can participate with a big painting, but to be entered into the giveaways, because the point of this event was to work on a jumbo painting so we can support each other, you know, and get through it. Because sometimes when you have a large painting like that, it can be really overwhelming. And, and having that support with the community event, especially right now, like, so anybody can participate, because who are we to say what's a big painting? Like someone could be working on a, 40 by 60, and for them, that's a large painting. They are more than welcome to join along. Mrs. Coffee, during her Sassy Craft Along, I seen that she was doing a weekly video showing everybody's photos. So I'm like, you know what? That is a really good idea. So I actually contacted Mrs. Coffee last night saying, hey, I'm going to, I'm sure you've probably heard that, me and Melissa B are doing this event, but I guess at that point she hadn't heard. And, I said to her, I'm definitely going to be doing the weekly video of, people can send photos of their painting and their progress, and we'll share it I'm going to put a video together of everybody's pieces, and it'll be on my channel, and then I'm going to send the video to Melissa through email with an attachment so she can put it on her channel as well and share it with her peeps. And if somebody has a 40 by 60, yeah, I'm still going to put their photo in the video. They just won't qualify for the giveaway. That's it. That is it. That's all. I don't care what painting people work on. It's just for the giveaway. One of the guidelines is, the painting has to be minimum 90 centimeters on one side. That's it. That is so yeah, anybody can participate in this event. The main reason why we're doing this is to bring just a positive distraction to the community. And this is where I'm really going to have to focus on my procrastination. I'm going to have to focus on my follow through, along with, take things personal. Like when I first read that comment, me 10 years ago would have been like, well, what does she mean by that? What is she like? What's her problem? Me now, I'm like, oh, you know what? She kind of does have a point, and I don't want, so yeah, like I still have to confirm this with Melissa B, but for the giveaways, definitely that is one of the guidelines, but anybody is welcome to join along in the event. What we may consider a small painting, somebody else might consider a large painting. As I've said in the past, it's all about perception. So that comment, Melissa, if you watch this before I comment back, I did not take it personal. I know that you were not being rude. That was just a perfect example for what I'm trying to get across. That my oversensitivity, the old me would have took that completely wrong, whereas now I won't, and it really made me think, she's got a point. Everybody that wants to participate should be able to participate. Not everybody can afford, a giant painting. And I completely 100% understand that. It's only the giveaway. That's it. That's it. That's all. So I know and now the other point before I went on to that rant, that tangent. Oh, now Mr. Addiction came in and distracted me. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. We're back, you guys. And now that I see that this video is up to an hour and a half, wow. I think this is probably the longest whip-in chat I have ever done. I've never done, so I don't know. I've messaged Melissa and I'm pretty sure she'll be in agreement. Anybody can participate. They just won't be included into the giveaways or like the big giveaway at the end. I don't know. We will continue working on it. We do want it so anybody can participate in this. But the point of the video or the point of the event was a big painting, but like I said, everything's about perception. Melissa, I know that your comment was not in a negative way. You were doing the right thing and looking out for everybody in the community. I really appreciate it when I get good constructive criticism. Not someone just coming going on the attack and me. No, there's a point, like I said, you can be rude or you can give constructive criticism. I truly appreciate people who can do that, right? Don't blow smoke up my ass. You don't need to kiss my ass, like say it like it is. Anything can be said. You can speak your mind with kindness and respect until kindness and respect goes out the door, right? If you're trying to speak your mind with somebody with kindness and respect, and they're coming at you aggressive or coming at me aggressive, forget it. Kindness and respect goes out the door. The last thing I want, that is one of my flaws, is sometimes I do worry what others think more than I should. But I think everybody does on some level. On some level, I truly believe that people do worry about what others think, especially if it's your peers, like someone say in the community, or, like we do care what our peers think. We do. It's just how far do you want to take it? Like, are you relying on what others think to make you feel good? Or, and what I'm going to do to work on that is I don't really know what I can do. Like, I really, truly don't. I don't have an answer for that one. Like, how do you just stop caring what other people think? And if somebody says, well, I don't care. I really don't care what other people think. Well, great. Awesome. And I've heard people say that. And then they'll come back at me, well, why do people think this? Thought you didn't care. It's, so to some degree, I honestly, truly feel and believe that people do care what others think, So I am switching pens. Eyes going over to squirrely. I'm feeling squirrely. We're at the end, you guys. So I am truly sorry. Actually, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm missing one of my things, and I'm even going to prove it to you guys. I have it starred even. Can you see that there? Pride. So you can see I did my thing. I said I would write down my flaws, and pride. I have a lot of pride. A lot of pride. Sorry, I'm totally squirreling again, you guys. Yeah, I pushed down too hard. Shoot. I was gonna have to get me some E6000. So if you have these diamond painting pens and you're heavy-handed, don't. I'm gonna have to train myself. This would be a good time to learn how to use patty wax, because, I was pushing too hard and I caused a small, tiny little crack there. You can see it. Oops. So this would probably be a good time to train myself on how to use patty wax. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. So pride. This will be the last thing, and yeah, so I do need a little bit of advice. Like, how do you stop caring about what other people think? Because I truly think to some degree, I don't care as much as I used to. If I think someone has a problem with me, I will go and face them. I'll go to them and I'll say, you know what? Like, I don't think I've done anything. I know I haven't, you got a problem with me? Like, if I done something to piss you off, like, I know I haven't done nothing, but maybe I did and didn't realize it. That is something I never used to be able to do, but now I can. And I know some of you can, that, because I've even come to some of you and I'd be like, have I done something? Did I offend you in any way? Because I know I ain't talked no shit and I know I ain't done nothing. So maybe I said something not realizing and offended. That's something that I have learned to do, is if you think someone has a problem with you, take it to them. Don't take it to anybody else. That is the worst thing that you can do, because that is how bullshit and drama starts. And then you got feeding the monsters, and I refuse to feed the monsters. I've talked about that. Okay, now enough about that. Pride. What I mean by pride is asking for help when you need it. I don't like it. I don't like having to go to people for help. Even just to have someone to talk to. Because it's always, well, I don't want to bother them. And people, I'm one of them that says, you're not bothering me. And when I say that, I mean it. So I have to learn that when people say, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. I need to start learning how to take people up on that. You know, if I need help in another area, I have to learn. I did that. I'm not going to go into details, but a couple months ago, something had happened. I said, I am not going into details, but this is a prime example of pride. Something that I thought was coming, which was mind-blowing and absolutely surreal. And when it didn't, so when you're and this is where I learned about follow through. When this got mentioned to me, my hopes and my prayers had been answered, and myself and multiple people were going to be affected in such a positive way. And for whatever reason, it didn't come through. It didn't happen. And I mean, shit happens. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. It was a definite huge letdown, and it was a disappointment because, your hopes go up and, shit happens, right? I could care less about that, but I won't lie, it hurt. And, so anyway, moving on, because this didn't come through, things got really, really messed up, really, really bad, really, really fast. And I had to reach out to somebody and ask for help. I had to ask for financial assistance, and not from a family member. And that was so hard, you guys, to swallow my pride and go to a friend and ask for help. That's not easy, because I am not a charity case. I do not like handouts. I was working a good job. I was making good money. We own our home. Yes, I had debt. Yes, I lost my car. We had a savings, but after I got sick, and unemployment ran out, we burned through it real quick, especially when we were paying rent for a place in Edson when we owned a place in Hinton. But I did that for my kids. Plus I was renting from my mom, and I didn't want to stiff her with the bill. So we burned through it. Like, it wasn't a huge one, but we had one. We burned through it really quick. And then last year, when my old job completely screwed me over, they betrayed me and burnt me. After they said they were going to do something and then they didn't do it, again, follow through. So yes, I do know what it feels like when follow through doesn't happen. And it is definitely the worst feeling in the world. You blame yourself. You're wondering what you did wrong. So that's where I'm saying my follow through is going to be there on a go forward. Absolutely. I will not commit to something unless I know I'm going to do it. My word is my bond, just like I live by karma. And what I mean by that is, if I do this action, or if I were to say these words, will I get bad karma? You know, like I live by that. I ain't perfect. Yeah, I'm sure I got some kind of, you know, not bad, but we're human, right? When I know I've screwed up or I've done something I shouldn't, I definitely light a candle and I repent the hell out of that shit. We're human, you know? Okay, I know I'm squirreling from pride and this video is already long enough. It was really hard for me to do that, you know? And, you know, yeah, this person, they helped us. And I can't thank them enough. It was hard. I've never had to do that. You know, I'm not a mooch. I am not a beggar. I don't want a handout. I struggle. I've even said that in the beginning when you guys started sending friend mail. I really struggle at receiving gifts. I really struggle at accepting kindness because I'm not used to it, in all honesty, you know, and that's a video for another day. I'm not saying people haven't been kind, but yeah, anywho, squirrel. So to swallow my pride and have to do that was so humbling. And so, I don't know, I can't find the right words to describe, you know. It was definitely a first for me. It was definitely a first, you know. And I have met some amazing people that have bestowed some amazing gifts, like mind-blowing, you know. And well, no, that was the second time. There was another time. So twice in less than a year, I've had to reach out and ask for help from people that I knew could, right? My parents can't. Mr. Addiction's on disability, you know. So I had to. I didn't know what else to do. It was either that or we were gonna starve, you know, and I had debt, you know. So, and you two people, you know who you are. You know who you are, you know, and I felt so little. I felt awful. I felt like I was a beggar. I felt like I was panhandling. And it's, you know, and that's where pride comes in. And that is, I don't know how to work on that. That's definitely a tough one. I guess I kind of saved the two for last, right? Pride and figuring out how to not care what people think, because I don't care what anyone says. I think to some degree everybody cares to a degree. Anywho, I'm not going to go back there. We're not going back there because we need to end this here soon. I've never done one this long. Wow. So I think pride is probably, as you can hear, I'm cracking up, right? Like my pride is, you know, I don't want people to get the wrong impression, you know, and I mean, you know, these are friends and they watch, you know, and thank you, you know, for, yeah, I can't say, I just, like I said, now I'm feeling all weird and, you know, but this is one of my flaws. And I told you guys I was going to keep it real. I was going to keep it real, you know, and it's not easy reaching out to anybody. Well, for me, you know, and I'm grateful and I feel blessed. But that is definitely something that I need to work on, you guys. And this is something that maybe we can all work on together. Like, well, we kind of are if you've been following along with this. So I think for next week's Timeout Thursday, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of do a follow-up from this week. I'm going to talk about, more things that I can work on. Last time I said I would leave you guys, every time I do one of these videos, I'm going to leave a guided meditation down in the description box. Pop in some headphones. I love Jason Stevenson. He's one of my favorite on YouTube for guided meditations. This one I geared towards self, right? Like if I'm talking about a certain topic, I'll try to gear your meditation through it. Meditation is a huge part of my world, morning and night, no matter what. Even if I got the flu and I'm draped over the toilet, I'm just like, I'm trying to meditate. It's just, I've engraved it, I've instilled it. It's just something I do, right? And that's the thing. Like I was able to train myself to meditate. We are able to change and we are able to work on these things. Obviously, pride is a big one. Pride is a big one for me. Worrying about others' thoughts, the oversensitivity, the emotional, I've pretty much got those handled because I accepted those a long time ago. That is who I am. My name is Sherry Murphy. I am a bit oversensitive and I can get very emotional. That is who I am. Just like, with the procrastination and follow through squirrely, I've worked that out. This is going to be the last video you guys are going to see like this. And I'm going to show you that with determination and dedication, you can work on your flaws and you can actually change yourself. Even teach an old dog new tricks. So I hope this is helping you guys. Let me know down below if you guys would like me to flip over to something else maybe. But self-love, self-acceptance, and learning to live with one's flaws is definitely something that I feel is something to work on. I know a lot of you I get a lot, maybe not necessarily comments, but I do get messages and emails from you guys. And I am glad that in some way my squirrely ways have been helpful. So that is definitely good to know. You guys have definitely given me validation and I appreciate that. Even to my consistent dislikers, those 1 to 3, thank you. I appreciate you too. Thanks for helping me. Always a positive, right? And as much as right now we have a pretty family issue going on, I had 2 positives, huge one. Like one was my laptop. That was a positive. It's working. I don't need a new laptop. Yay, yay. Thank you, universe. You gave me my computer back. And then we had another huge one that was a massive positive, and I am so excited for that. You will hear that in an upcoming video once the details get hashed out. It has nothing to do with my channel, has everything to do with my personal world. I'm excited. Okay, guys, so for next week, we're just going to kind of work on working with our flaws. I'll do some updates. Let's see how well I do with uploading my videos Saturday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Sorry, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Oh, Murphy, get it right. 6 p.m. I'm tired, you guys. Oh, this is never happening again. I don't like this. I really, truly don't. I really don't like this. So this is what I need to work on, and we will touch base next week in probably a much shorter Timeout Thursday. If you made it this far into the video, just comment what your zodiac sign is down below. You are a diehard, you rock. Thank you so much for your support and hanging in through this one whopper of a long video. Thank you. I appreciate you guys on so many levels. I love this journey so much. And I'm so excited for this event and everything else that's coming down the pipes. I am now going to bid thee all farewell. Stay positive, live blessed, and until the next time, many, many blessings. #Vibetribe. Bye, guys.